All right, clients are dying to know who gets the dog or the cat or the goldfish. In a way, it's funny because sometimes we might think of pets like children, right? Who gets custody? And I've had clients come to me before asking, what kind of custody they can get for their pet. Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, depending on how you look at it, the courts do not view pets in terms of custody. So the court is going to look at your dog the same way that the court would look at a lamp. It is a piece of personal property, regardless of our emotional feelings for the dog or anything else. It's just a thing that people own, and the court will not, at trial, create a custody agreement for your pet. They just won't, I promise you. And so we have some work to do in settlement negotiations. And in settlement negotiations, we can make a custody agreement for your pet. And so if Fido is really important and we are going to live in the same town, we can share custody with Fido, and we can put that into a marital settlement agreement, because when we're settling, we can pretty much do anything that's legal and that we can also dream up. And so it's very broad what we can do. When we get to court, it's very narrow what's going to happen. And the court's going to make a decision that probably nobody is going to like. And so that's just really bad. I'll tell you a story about, just a funny story about a pet. I had a divorce where there really weren't a whole lot of assets in the divorce to be divided up, and we were mediating. We were in mediation trying to get a settlement, and the big issue that the parties just could not agree on were 4 cats that they owned together and who was going to get those cats. And I thought, 4 is an even number. This is going to be super easy. Somebody gets 2 cats and the other person gets the other 2 cats. What could go wrong? Well, come to find out that of the 4 cats, only 1 really mattered. There was 1 of the 4 cats that neither of them could live without. And I was just like, man, I don't know how we're going to settle this. They don't live close to each other. There's no kind of custody arrangement that's going to work. Somebody's either going to get this cat or they're not going to get this cat. And so finally, because there was nothing else left to be settled, that was the only thing that we were arguing over, I offered the other party, my client and I offered the other party $1,000 for the cat. And so then a counteroffer came back. They offered $2,000. So we offered $3,000. They offered $4,000. And it kept going back and forth. Eventually, someone paid $8,000 to get that cat. So, pets are important. We love them. Sometimes we would do anything to keep our pet. And so those are the types of things that can happen. So we want to be thinking early if there is a cat that is more important than the other 3 cats and we got to have them. We got to figure out, what are we going to give up to make sure that we get that. And that's part of just good negotiating.